You're now listening to Sound Talent Media. Check out more shows at soundtalentmedia.com.
Springfest is happening now at Lowe's. Keep the spotlight on your yard with Stay Green Premium 2 cubic foot mulch, 5 bags for $10. Plus, when you want more help indoors, get up to 40% off select major appliances that help you supercharge your chores. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid to 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Tone Mob Podcast. If you're hearing this early, well, you know you're on Patreon. I guess you would know that. I don't have to tell you where you're hearing it because you know where you're hearing it, but thank you very much. But if you're hearing this on the main feed, I guess you just have to know that the patrons get access to some stuff that often never sees the light of day. A lot of bonus episodes. But that's not the case this time. This time, it was a sneak peek. And this is part 2 of the 2026 conversation with Jordan Buckley. Now, I mentioned in the first drop that this was a large conversation. Jordan and I spoke for 4 hours on this episode. And after much review and much talking about it and much discussion, we decided that we're just going to release the first 2 hours, at least for now. As Jordan told me in conversation off the air, quote, he had a great conversation, but realized that afterwards some things are just still too personal. And sometimes when I do interviews, I forget that the public will be listening, which I guess makes me feel pretty good as an interviewer, to be honest. I want the guest to feel comfortable enough that they forget that the public's listening. But the public is indeed listening, and I totally understand that some things don't need to come out right now. That said, this is still an extremely personal section. Maybe not as personal as quote unquote part 3, but it's still pretty deep and pretty heavy and explores some things that I think maybe a lot of people should think about. I'm not necessarily advocating for everything that we discuss in this podcast, but I do think it is worth exploring, worth considering, and when it has such positive results as it has for Jordan, definitely worth talking about. So without further ado, let's get into this one with my dude, Jordan Buckley. Here we go. How does that work? So this will be the first hour of the second part right here at 50. Yeah. I'm gonna mark this. Cool. All right.
Should I go change clothes?
Nah, we'll just keep it going. They know what's going on. They know the deal. So, everybody, welcome to part 2. What I think I'm going to do with this is, for all you wonderful Patreon supporters, you're going to hear this early, and then everybody else has to wait. Okay. I think that's what we're going to do. So, but yeah, this is good stuff. So, we have a text thread going. We've been chatting on it about a lot of stuff. And you mentioned before you came on this time that you had something really awesome happen. And and you wanted to talk about it, and I'm like, all right, tell me what that is, because we've had some interesting chats, but that was certainly a way to grab my attention.
Oh my God, yeah, I feel so good. I feel like this is a good way to end things, but yeah, let's just go with the flow here.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, it was funny because, we had planned to do this before any of the lineup changes happened,
Yes.
And you were like, yeah, let's do it again. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember having a great conversation with you. Mm-hmm. And then, so I agreed to it. And then, we made that announcement, and it went from like, well, I'm not going to have anything to talk about to like, oh, I'm probably going to have some stuff to talk about.
So for the listeners, this is for the listeners, because just in case they haven't followed this, I assume this is about Greg moving on from Better Lovers.
Well, I felt like you would ask about it. Like I said, let's let everybody know. Let's keep them
keep it 100.
Yep. I keep it. That's exactly it. I keep it 100. let's LFG, So I'm like, well, if I'm going to go on this podcast, I have to keep it 100. I can't do a podcast without. And so, you get into this, I kind of have to get into this mindset where, I don't want to necessarily always talk about anything with anyone, but when I get into an environment like this, I make an agreement with myself, and it kind of just gotta roll your shoulders back and just kind of be a little bit more receptive to the questioning. And I mean, I watched the there's like a new Red Hot Chili Peppers documentary on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it. Yeah.
Well, first of all, like I thought, allegedly, like didn't Anthony Kiedis like get canceled for like he used to like date 14-year-olds? I don't know. It's in his book. Anyway, so I was surprised that there was a Chili Peppers documentary. I was like, oh, okay, because I was a Blood Sugar Sex Magic freak when that came out, and I'm watching it, and they had a tough start, and they're just talking about it. And I'm like, oh, that looks like so much fun. That looks like so much fun. Just talking about their life. Like you look back and you go, yeah, this happened and then this happened. And they're very, very objectively, just very matter of fact, like, yeah, this happened. And it's not all good stuff.
They have some very dark stories that their music doesn't sonically reflect all the time.
Right. And so I was just watching them like, oh, that looks like fun. And then you start to realize, a lot of other people have been talking about my life. Like, shouldn't I be if anyone gets to talk about my life, shouldn't it be me? Like, what? Don't I have that right? I mean, oh my God, you could find someone else talking about my life on all corners of the internet at one point. It felt like I was like, when is it my turn? Then 4 or 5 years go by, and you go from like thinking you will be able to kind of let the ugliness go and let everything go once you tell this story. And then you realize, like, I don't want to tell this story. Like, I'm a private guy. I'm a Scorpio. I know it's so mysterious. I'm just so, I'm not trying to be. I just really enjoy my privacy. And then it kind of goes back to that conversation we were having on part one, where it's like, well, how much energy do I have to give to something that's not true? And so I guess I'll just get to the story. So we announced that we were going to be going a different way with Greg. And it's an absolute honor to be able to disappoint drama lovers, because there really is none. I look at it, I guess, like so you like Every Time I Die, right?
Yes.
What was your favorite record?
I really like From Parts Unknown.
Okay. That's a great answer. And here's why. I look back now and you see the fluidity of the records and the career and the music writing, and I kind of look at it like, I don't know, each record like a cocktail or a casserole or some sort of food analogy, maybe a dip. Let's go with like a taco dip. And you get different ingredients. Some ingredients have been there the entire time. Each record is a different dip. And in Every Time I Die, Keith, me, Andy, those are three ingredients that are in every dip. And I think the argument could be made that every dip got better. Every single dip got better. In this one, you had the Steve ingredient, call it hot damn. I like to think of producers like an ingredient. Those with Eric Rachel. That one, absolute game changer. And then life happens. You take the Steve ingredient gets removed. Then you do, you add two of the dips had the Steve Evans ingredient, and then you add back the Steve ingredient, and you add in this new Kurt Ballou ingredient. And so that dip is called Every Time I Die is from Parts Unknown. And, this Legs, he was our drummer at the time, that ingredient is fantastic. That was the second time, because he was on X Lives. Mm-hmm. And even the ingredients that don't change, you want them to be better. What am I? I'll be the salsa. You want to be better salsa every single time. And so how that relates to this, I look at it like this dip, bunch of dip. I know, I'm sorry to swear. You got this me ingredient, you got the goose ingredient, you got the Steve ingredient. Those were prevalent in all of the last and best Every Time I Die dips. And then it's like, oh my God, 2016 is when you meet this new ingredient that just changes your life, this Will Putney ingredient. Mm-hmm. And you never want to be in another dip without him. And so Better Lovers, God Made Me an Animal, Better Lovers, Highly Irresponsible. It had some spicy beans, man. Greg is a spicy bean. Yeah. He is so talented, and it was such an absolute honor to be able to be on stage with him for 3 years. He's just one of the most talented men in heavy music, and I really wish I had. I know you guys want some sort of drama. Something must have happened. The truth is, but 3 years, we never got in one argument as a band. We never got in one fight. And you just kind of start to appreciate some of these things that maybe they shouldn't last forever. Maybe some people come into your life and you have a great time with them, and then they leave your life, and that's okay. Like something on a Taco Bell. Taco Bell doesn't take off the spicy gordita crunch because no one likes it. They take it off because the limited editionness adds to, just makes it that much more awesome. And
absence makes the hearts grow fonder. Sometimes, right?
Yeah. And I look at this like it was a thing that existed. And it was amazing, and we're just started to feel like we were going in different directions. That's really all it is. That's really, when we were so desperate, looking back on it, we were so desperate to start this band because we did not, after Eat It broke up, I did not want to fall into this funk. I did not want to fall into this rut. I felt it creeping up on me. It was there, trust me, it was there, and I just didn't want to stay in it. So I knew that starting a new band would help me get out of it. And so when we met Greg, we knew he had Kill or Be Killed. We knew he had Black Queen. We knew he had solo stuff. We knew he was on tour with Jerry. We knew he might not want to come back to heavy music. We also know that people have their own lives outside of that. And so we kind of were just like let's worry about that. Let's cross that bridge when we get there kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I think 2026 just felt like we had got to that bridge where we were just like, we're late in our life, not late, but we've been doing this for so long, we don't know, maybe to use a sports analogy, you don't know how many seasons you have left. And so you kind of try making, you don't sign those 8-year contracts anymore. You don't sign those 5-season contracts anymore. You realize later in life, people are only signing 1-2 year contracts because you don't know how long this is going. I feel like I could do this forever, but maybe I'm wrong. Like there were times on this, we went so hard this last 6 months, and there were times, I'd be in Ljubljana, missing my kid's first home run, just being like, maybe, is this the last time I'll ever be in Ljubljana? But then you could say the same thing about, Juliet, Illinois. It's just like, okay, this is awesome. This is fun. And you just have this weird, like, I just don't know. this might be the last time. I don't know. You don't know, and you're a little bit more open to that. And I don't want to bum anyone out at all, but the reality is that Better Lovers started while I was people were very down on me, unfairly and incorrectly, and maybe we'll clear all that up by the time this is over. But people were very down on me, and so the backlash I got actually backfired because it took out all of the pressure. When people are telling me that no one cares about Every Time I Die for the music, and you know, I'm never gonna amount to anything without Keith, and you know, those criticisms are raining down from me. And meanwhile, I'm just looking through my DMs for some cat commissions. You know what I mean? That's how I get my work. I have to scroll through Instagram to find people that say, "Hey, I want to pay you this much money to draw this or paint this or whatever." So I have to see this stuff, I know these people were trying to kill my spirit and kill my soul, but it really backfired because it took out all the pressure. And I've said this before: writing a 10th Every Time I Die record after Radical, that would have been tremendous pressure. Or starting a band that when everyone's like, "This is gonna be awesome," that would have been pressure. But having so much negativity forced its way into my life, and I was able to start this band with zero pressure. I even wanted, one of the early band names I was kicking around was House Money, because it just felt like, okay, if I'm being told that there's going to be, you know, 5 people at our shows and all of our shows are selling out, like, this is not just great in itself. This is even better because we got nothing to lose. If there's 10 people at our shows, that means that we're doing better than we were supposed to. If there's 50 people at our shows, that means we're doing better than we're supposed to. And so it did take off the pressure, and that has forced me to approach Better Lovers differently than I approached Every Time I Die. Now, Every Time I Die was my life. It was my life. Like, I remember requesting a month off. I think my kid's due date was like, the original due date was like May 15th or May 20th or something. And I requested May off. And it was like, okay, like, well, quit time off. Are you kidding me? We're Every Time I Die. We don't say no to anything. We say, and so it was like, hey, good news. You got this used tour, but it only goes till May 9th. And I'm just like that's how it was. It was never like, oh, a month off actually means a month off. A month off means, hey, good news, you'll be home by the due date. Like, and so, you know, I saw an interview with Josh Allen, I think, in Kyle Brandt early in the year. Maybe like it was honestly week 1. It was after he got married, and it's before the season. And the question was like, what has being married taught you about yourself? And, you know, as a Bills fan, you're like, oh, here it comes. He's going to say, she's given me the strength to finally win the Super Bowl. She's unlocked this part of me that has, this is the reason I haven't been able to get over the Kansas City Chiefs hump. And she unlocked this and shined this light on it. And he was just like, she taught me that I'm more than a football player. And like, every Bills fan was like, well, yeah, that's great for you, but it doesn't do it for us, buddy. And so I get it though. And even Greg said to me early on, he's like, you can't just be the guitar player of Every Time I Die, and you can't just be the guitar player of Better Lovers. And so this time around, I've approached it to where every show is a blessing. Every interaction is a blessing. Everything is seen through these new eyes, where you know, our last show currently was in Adelaide, and you can't attach. That's where the suffering comes from, and so you have to be okay with the possibility that I don't think Adelaide was our last show ever at all. But there has to be a part of you that is okay if it is. Mm-hmm. You will fall into a rut. If you put all of your everything into one thing, then when that one thing gets taken away, you're done for. And I'm not saying you shouldn't connect to anyone. I'm not trying to say you shouldn't have bonds. I'm just saying that you have to be able to detach from everything, but that just makes you appreciate it more. It truly does. It truly makes you appreciate it more when you are at peace with the fact that, especially after the pandemic and then after the E-Tip breakup, how that just came out of nowhere. I was like, I'm not doing this like all my eggs in one basket thing anymore. Even that doesn't mean I'm going to be in like 2 or 3 bands. It just means like I'm going to be mentally at a space where I'm not like right now. If I was as attached and dependent on it more so than I am, I would be freaking the frig out right now. But we are in a place where we just know that what's meant to be will be, and everything's going to be fine. We have 22 really, really amazing songs. Really, really, really amazing songs. And I listen to them every day, and they're great. And so everything's going to be fine. Everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. And I mean, I'm not saying, Greg could come back. I'm just saying that, like, when you look at the dips that you've made in your life, you took out the Steve ingredient. It was in one dip, and then he wasn't in the next couple, and then he was back in the other one. I'm just trying to say that you never know what's going to happen. And whatever dip we make is going to be absolutely delicious, and you guys are going to love it. It's going to be
That's right. We're going to gobble it up either way.
Hey, Rocky.
What's up, Vincent?
Did you hear about the latest?
Latest what?
The latest drop from Maris. It's totally insane.
No, tell me more.
Maris just released Enzo X.
What's that?
Enzo X is a supernova expansion from the original Enzo into the highest quality and most flexible studio synthesizer ever created in a pedal format.
Whoa!
Enzo X combines 5 synth types, 5 drives, 3 reverbs, and 5 modulations. It also includes a full 2.5 second stereo delay, all in one pedal.
That sounds hard to use.
It's not. The UI is from the same family as the Mercury X and the LVX. It's super easy to dive in and see exactly what you are tweaking in real time.
Oh, I see. It's right there on the screen.
Yep.
Is it this for guitars, though?
Nope. You can plug almost anything into the Enzo X, including your MIDI controller.
That sounds incredible. Where do I get it?
You can pick up Enzo X online at maris.us or at any of their fine retailers across the globe.
Did you just say across the globe?
They know what I meant.
Wait, are we getting paid for this?
I'm still waiting on that cash money from last time.
He better at least give us pizza for dinner.
I'm not giving him his Enzo X back until he does.
For more information, make sure you check out maris.us, and apparently I have to go order a pizza. How exactly do artists get their music on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, all these services? How in the world do you get your music there? Well, in the past, you had to use something called a record label. But these days, you can use DistroKid. DistroKid is the absolute easiest way to get your music up on streaming services, and it's the most affordable way to do so. Not only do plans start at $22.99 for the entire year, that's less than $2 a month, DistroKid also does not take a cut of your streaming revenue, unlike some other services out there. Even better if you sign up by going to tonemob.com/distrokid. That's tonemob.com/distrokid. One more time, that's tonemob.com/distrokid. You'll get 30% off. That's right, 30% off their already extremely reasonable prices. So go to tonemob.com/distrokid and get your music out there. We are brought to you today by Sweetwater, specifically the Gear Exchange. You may have heard about this. This is a place where you can go to buy and sell your used gear. Maybe you got a pedal over there that's just kind of collecting dust. Maybe there's something you've been eyeing from the Sweetwater catalog. Well, right now is a great time to turn that unused gear into something you're actually going to use. Even better, if you sell on the gear exchange, you can keep 100% of the sale as long as you choose a Sweetwater gift card as your payout method. That is not too shabby because, let's be honest, most of this buying and selling we do is just to fund new gear purchases, and that is a great way to reach a wide variety of customers and keep 100% in your pocket, or rather on your pedal board. So go check out the Sweetwater Gear Exchange and turn that unused gear into something that's actually going to help you write that next huge riff.
Okay, so how does that pertain to this story I was telling you about? When we announced that, it reopened some wounds, like some serious wounds, and I thought I had been dedicating my life to healing from all this stuff. But I just my DMs were no longer just for cats. It was a lot of people, demanding an ETID reunion or mocking the fact that one is on its way, obviously, and it just put me into a pretty another like pretty deep funk. And that luckily I was home. And I got to just be comforted where, only home can do that. But I'm like, Jesus, I haven't been like burying this. I've been trying my best to move on and get to the next place of on my healing journey. And I hate that term, but it's really the only one that's appropriate. So much therapy and so many books you read, and but I was in a place again where the PTSD, it's so bad. It was. Let me preface everything by saying this whole story has a very, very happy ending. But the PTSD, and I can narrow it down to the day. I can narrow it down to the moment. And I've obviously been a little bit open about it. I've kind of been beating around the bush where it's this kind of thing where it's just like, okay, I'll say it's bad. I'll say it's happening, because there's no way I can, if I just go out there and just be like, no, what are you talking about? Everything's great. Like, no, I can't live like that. I keep it 100. I keep it 100. I can't, if I'm going out there being like, no, I'm fine. That's not keeping it 100. And I don't want to put it out into the world because I'm also a big kind of, law of attraction guy. And I feel like, well, if I get on a podcast and I just talk about what a sad sack I am, like I'm just going to bring that back into my life, But it's like a veil, and it's almost like your battery, like you can only run up to 60%, like no matter how hard you try to charge. And I have these spiritual routines, and I have the yoga, and I have the transcendental meditation, and I have these routines that I do just to get to that 60%. You know what I mean? Like the pain is gotten to the point where it's just always there. The anxiety is always there. And so now I've kind of just dedicated my life to okay, well, how can I just at least stay at 60% all day? How can I want to be at least, I can't get to 100%. How can I at least be for my kid, for my future? But I know it's not permanent. I know I'm going to get out of this. I'm so determined to beat this. There was this pain. I'm not joking. Maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll get into it. But there is this pain that went from like my ear, like down the side of my neck and my jaw, into like my back, my shoulder, like my chest, and like I can't even explain the PTSD. It's just so, it stinks. It sucks. I really have done my best to not explain really truly, because I don't want to come off like some victim. I just want to beat it. Like I don't want to. That's kind of like the absurdity of the, we were talking about rumors and like, what do you address? What don't you address? There was one I saw, or someone told me about, where people think I write the lyrics to Better Lovers. And then so now I'm thinking like this Josh thing, like, oh, do I have to address this? Maybe I'll just try this new thing where I address things. And so let's just get that one out of the way first. There's so many. This is awful. This, every time I die, breakup, it's crippling. It crippled me to the point where, like I said, I have I chant a mantra for 15 minutes every morning and 15 minutes every night because there's, well, aside from the spiritual aspects of it, there's a scientific aspect that this vibrates your spine and your nervous system at a level that is unlike anything else. And so I do that to help me maintain cold showers, exercise. Like I'm doing all this stuff just to not think about it. Just to not think about it. Like,
oh man,
like
I get it.
That's all I want to do is move on and not think about it. So the idea that I would say to Greg, who is a professional lyric writer who has, I just named all of his side projects and the Dillingers. How many full lengths is this guy responsible for? This guy didn't even think he wanted to come back to heavy music. Imagine him coming back to heavy music and me being like, hold on. I know you write your own lyrics. And I know I've literally never written lyrics in my life. Blake, one time I wrote lyrics in 8th grade. I wrote like a rip-off Green Day song, like a Basket Case rip-off. Mm-hmm. It was so bad and so dumb that I traumatized myself. I went, no,
not doing that.
No. Like, some things you have to embrace the suck and you have to work through the suck to get good at it. Because you have a passion. You suck it when you start drawing, but you are passionate about it, so you work through the suck and you get good at it. Same with guitar playing. This sucks, I suck, but I want to work through this and get good at it. There was no part of me that finished writing these lyrics and was like, okay, I see some hope here. No.
Well, and if you would have been passionate about writing lyrics, you would have probably worked through that suck and wrote some decent lyrics at some point.
Exactly.
But it's not your thing.
Right, and so like the idea that like we put this new life together, we put this new band together. Imagine me being so stupid that after all my routines, just to not think about it, I'm like, hey, Greg, can you remind me of this on stage in front of every single person? No, but you might as well just pants me. This is so stupid. Sometimes the PTSD is so bad that I don't even think I would be able to play the guitar if I was thinking about, or if these invasive thoughts come. No, like it's so stupid. Like, I don't want to get on stage, and it was embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. Why would I want a group of people? Hey everybody, let's all remember Jordan's most horrific public humiliation, and let's add to it. So yeah, Greg, during 30 Under 13, since we're all just embarrassing me, let's just pants me and get a camera to zoom in on it, and we'll put it on the backdrop. No, I do not write the lyrics. I would not ask Greg to write the lyrics. One time, like, he's very, I'm not airing any dirty laundry, but I mean, I felt weird asking him one time, like, oh, you should do this twice. And he kind of gave me this, like, nobody tells me what to do look. You know what I mean? If you actually knew what the reality of the situation, you would see how completely ludicrous this is, and then he would come back. He's like, "Oh, that was actually a good idea." But no, Greg does not want you writing his lyrics for him. 30 Under 13, the song people think it's about, there's a reference to green eyes. The person does not have green eyes. I just said, see, then you just think, you go, oh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But then I don't know. Is this the kind of thing, like Josh got to a point where he had to address it? Like, when do you get to that point? It's very, very difficult. That's like people hire PR companies. I don't have a PR company. I don't have someone saying, hey, Jordan, we've been scouring the internet and you need to address this. So unfortunately, there is a major disconnect between people that are a fan of the bands I've been in and my real daily life. And it's a shame. It's a shame because originally that was the best part about being in Every Time I Die. I loved hanging out with kids. We would do these Warped Tours, and I would sell, I'd draw my own shirts and sell stupid shirts like just the dumbest stuff. It was great. Like one of them, it was Butthead Editor, and it was just a combination of Butthead and the Predator. That was a very big hit. One was I could put my kid through college with the money I made on Make America Gay Again, and it was just Captain America and Iron Man making out. It was so I would sell these shirts, and we realized we ran the numbers. I wouldn't set up next to Every Time I Die because I didn't want to steal a sale. But then one day they tell you where to go, and so we got set up next to each other, and we did so. Every Time I Die, it was like their best day, and so we're like, okay, let's try that again, and it was our best day again, and so we kind of realized when I set up next to Every Time I Die, Every Time I Die does better because people just come over and just hang out. And, there was never a VIP line to meet. I mean, we would do those when certain tents would be like, hey, can you come do a signing at this tent? But for the most part, if you wanted to hang out with me and I wasn't on stage playing, you just came over to the tent. And it was truly, truly what the best moments of my life, happiest. It was such an honor to be a part of that community. And it made me feel so good to know that I had helped create it. I think Every Time I Die gave people a place where they felt like themselves. We had a lot of very authentic fans. I never felt like we were a band that people came to see the show because we were the cool band and they didn't like the music, but it was the cool show to go to. I felt like everyone liked us and we didn't have any posers, and we were the cool band, but no one pretended to like us. The people, you either didn't like us and didn't come, or you liked us and you came. And that is a bond that it's hard to make, man. You look back on it and it was just really, really, really special. And it's an absolute shame that it is what it is today. Sorry. Give me 1 second here.
No, you're good.
Maybe mark this because I just wanted to make sure I know where I'm going with this, but
no worries. I've marked it, so we'll be a little easier lift in the editing department.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I really, really liked being in Every Time I Die. I really liked having that connection. And so when this Greg thing happened, it brought up a lot of stuff that hold on, mark it again. I just want to make sure I'm not going off the, I think this is where I was going. What were we talking about? We were talking about Greg we were talking about the lyrics and, what was I talking about before I sidetracked about the lyrics?
You were talking about how the DMs were upsetting because the originally, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, the Greg thing happens, and the comments and the messages I was getting reopened some wounds. And it's like I said, it wasn't it was never like a I'll get to this one day. It was I'm always working on. I always want to be better. I used to consider myself a happy person, and I used to think that it was infectious. I used to think that I made other people around me happy, like at these Warped Tours, and we were just hanging out. And it's just so sad. I haven't felt that way since December 2nd, 2021. So I've always known, I need to do something about this. I need to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm not quitting on this. This is not going to be my life. I'm going to beat this. And sometimes you have to go to a dark place to really kick yourself into gear. So, when the Greg thing happened, I went back to that dark place, and so I have a therapist, and I've done so much therapy. I've done so much, book therapy, talk therapy, but she's also a big advocate for psychedelics as a form of healing PTSD. And these studies are out there. You don't need me to talk about it, but she's a big believer on that. And so she's always, and being in the desert, it's easy to find the right people, It's not like, go to the cannabis shop where Big Brother's got their finger in everything, But the governments are changing my weed. No, it's definitely different. It's you can find places where it's done so properly and so respectfully and so correctly, just the way that it was kind of passed down from generation to generation to generation of the people that come from this land. And so they say it calls to you, they say when you need it, you'll know. And so I've done like a handful of these psilocybin retreats, I guess. I think this is my fourth one, and I love these people that do them. They converted like their home into this space where you get 8 people, and each person comes in, and you get your mat, and again, they're like, there's a couple that are just relaxing, and they just make the environment so not scary, because it is it can be a very, very scary thing. So you get these, and if this is boring, we can cut this out.
No, I love this kind of stuff.
So,
yeah.
So we get these mats, and I get my mat, and I'm now better at these. I now know how to get out of these trips what I want to get out of these trips. Like the first time I was just scared out of my mind. I'm just like, please just don't kill me. Please, just please. And so you slowly get to a point where you know how to operate. So the first thing they do is the guy comes around with like a tuning fork, and he like puts it on both sides of your ears to kind of get your vibration at the right place. And then the woman comes around, and she like kind of blows this like smoke like on you, and like takes this sacred feather and like clears your heart chakra, and then she puts like some rosewood on your crown chakra to kind of, because it lubes up your journey, I guess.
All right.
They say, well, whatever it is, nature, higher power, God, universe, source, creation. You can go in and just say, no, I just want to connect them to the mushrooms. But this is help that you're going to get an experience, and it's going to come from somewhere. And so this helps, just one of the steps.
Hello there. I'd like to introduce you to your new best friend, the Chase Bliss Audio Lossy. Lossy is a collaboration between Chase Bliss and Good Hertz. And it's meant to give you some control over those weird digital artifacts that come with very compressed audio. You're hearing it right now. All the changes that are taking place are strictly coming from my playing dynamics. I'm just interacting with the pedal and letting it do its thing. In some true stereo goodness. If you'd like some more details about Lossy, I'd invite you to head over to chaseblinssaudio.com. You're gonna like what you find.
You know you need fiber for a healthy gut, but do you actually know how to get it? Quaker's been serving up fiber since 1877, with over 100 great-tasting, good source of fiber options to choose from. Whether you like old-fashioned oats, instant oatmeal, granola, or oatmeal squares, Quaker makes it delicious. So good. Get your fiber with Quaker. Shop Quaker's good source of fiber products at a store near you.
K-pop Demon Hunters Haja Boys breakfast meal and Huntrix meal have just dropped at McDonald's. They're calling this a battle for the fans. What do you say to that, Rumi?
It's not a battle. So glad the Saja Boys could take breakfast and give our meal the rest of the day.
It is an honor to share.
No, it's our honor.
It is our larger honor.
No, really. Stop.
You can really feel the respect in this battle. Pick a meal to pick a side.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's while supplies last.
And then you get called over, and they give you your cup, and it's got. So they call 5 grams. They call that the God's dose, for a reason, but you have to like go away for the weekend to do that much. This is just at a weekend, like you get there at like 1, and you're probably gone by like 10. Mm-hmm. And so it's only 3. And she gives it to me, and she's like, the medicine is very, very strong lately. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool.
All right.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay, yeah. Thanks for the heads up. Oh, my God. And then you back to your mat, and you hold it against your heart, and you put your intentions into what you want. And like I said, I've gotten better at this. This is, I think, the 4th time doing this specific medicine. I've done like a couple of the DMTs that are meant to heal PTSD too. Those work, but they're very quick. They're more intense, but they're like just 10-minute bursts. And this is like kind of like your all-day thing. So, having gone through, having these wounds reopened, having been put back into the funk that I was put back into, I wanted to just let it go so bad. Oh my God, I just want to let it go so bad. I try to let it go. I do. I chant. I meditate. I do the yoga. I live so healthy. My life has just no drama in it. My life has no chaos in it. I just can't get over this anger that I have for Keith and for his keeper, his handler, whatever she is. By the way, anything I talk about, let me set up ground rules in case I talk about some stuff. Mm-hmm. One, I'm talking about stuff that's in the past. I'm not commentating on anything current. I don't know. This is just. I don't know what is currently going on with people I may be talking about. This is not some sort of call to action to do something. This is just me finally opening up to what happened in 2021. Like I just want to be Flea. Flea's up there talking about his life. It looks so fun. Why can't I do that? Why can't I? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mm-hmm. I just want to keep it 100. And so this isn't some sort of commentary. So I don't even know if Keith and his Dom are a thing still. I haven't seen the guy since we walked off stage. We were told we had to leave on one side and he had to leave on the other. And that was the last I've seen him, and that was in December of 2021. So this is not some sort of like, we need to do something. I don't know. No, it's not that at all. This is just me talking about my life. And it's not really up for debate. Like, I know a lot of fans are like, we deserve to know. And for a while I was like, you don't deserve to know anything. You parasites. You don't deserve to know. But no, I think eventually fans do, because why not? And so this isn't like, I need to prove it to you. I need to check out these receipts. So I got the receipts. I got all the receipts, but I don't make me show them, please. That's not what this is about. I just have realized that in the last month, that there's still a lot of people hurting. There's still a lot of people that need closure. There's still a lot of people that think things happened that did not happen. And I just want this to help. I want us to all just kind of, get to a place where you don't think I'm writing the lyrics. I don't want to live in that anymore. I'm doing absolutely everything I can to not live in that anymore. So let's not live in that anymore together. And that was my goal when I went there. And I knew I had such anger. I knew I had such resentment. I knew I had such bitterness. I didn't want to hold on to it. I haven't let on to how bad it is. But I didn't want to live that way. And I can't live that way. I like keeping other people's secrets is killing me, I will be heard is basically what I'm trying to say. Now is the time for me to rise from my feet and what to spit from my face and the tears from my eyes. So I have a very clear intention. I don't want to hate Keith anymore. I don't want to hate his wife at the time, or fiance at the time. I don't even know if they're together. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't even know. That's how removed I am. But I don't want to hate them. I don't. I never did. And I'm going to have to tell the whole story for you guys to realize that. But we never did. We love this guy a lot. We really love this guy a lot, and we tried to support. And you get to that weird line where when does supporting someone become enabling them? And that's something I've been dealing with a lot lately. But anyway, plowing ahead. Mm-hmm. But I also want you to know that I carried a tremendous amount of hatred for you guys, like a lot of people listening. And there's a good reason. I mean, some of the things you guys said was just unacceptable, just deplorable. I was ashamed of my last name. I was ashamed of the art I had made that carried the name Every Time I Die. I was ashamed of the music I had made for Every Time I Die. Every single time for, I'd say, 2-3 years maybe, every single time someone said Every Time I Die, or I saw the logo or a t-shirt or heard it, you get this, and I think that's where this pain comes from. You get this,
Yeah.
But even when it's complimentary, like I do cameos, and so people will be just like, "Hey, Jordan, this cameo's for my husband. He's a big fan of Every Time."
You're like, not again. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is how I'm paying my bills, so I guess I gotta do it. Mm-hmm. And then nice people will come up to you, just be like, "Hey, man, I know I'll be at a show. Hey, man, I don't want to bother you, but check this out." They pull up their sleeve. It said Every Time I Die tattoo, and you're just like, thank you. Yes, love that. And I don't want to live that way. I don't want to live that way anymore. I just, like I said, I felt like I used to be such a happy person, and I felt like it's been years since that. So I tell my mushrooms, I don't want to hate anymore. I don't want to hate anybody anymore. I don't want to hate our fans anymore. I just want to let it go. I just want to. I gotta heal. I got a lot of blockages. I just want to get to a point where I can look back and laugh at this. I hadn't seen the Netflix documentary yet, so I couldn't make Chili Peppers references to the mushrooms. So
right.
But I was basically saying, I just want to get to a place where this is in the past, and I'm healed from this, and I can just talk about it openly. And then they give you, so you eat them, and then they give you grape juice or orange juice, because orange juice helps with the taste and with the kind of like the activation. And then you get this, they bring around this cacao drink. These beans are like from Peru. They're sacred. It's like a hot chocolate drink, and that hot chocolate mixes with the psilocybin to enhance the effects. And she does this very beautiful like prayer over the land, calling for protection from all these sources, all these various spirits, and gods and what have you, and really, really doing it right. Like, this is not like recreational, let's all go get effed up on a Saturday. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is not like, let's smoke weed and listen to records. This is like, it's always like, I've noticed there's always 8 people, and I'm not going to give you their website, because the last thing I want is to show up, someone's there, one of the other 7 people are in an E-Tit shirt. So there's like 7 others, and it's always like 4 women in their late 40s, 1 woman in like her 60s, and then there's, another guy or 2. And they're usually like younger, but people got some serious healing to do. People got some serious grief that they're done. They want to be done grieving, and that's what I did. I want to be done grieving. It's been 4 years, 5 years. I just want to be done grieving. So it's starting to kick in even before she's done with her rituals and her ceremony, and take the sip of the cacao drink, and you start feeling good. You're like, oh, okay. I know, because normally it takes like 45 minutes to kick in. But she said, like, this time around, it's a little stronger. A little bit of an understatement. I felt the first thing, and I don't want to make like, I think I've done this already on a podcast. I go on and I talk about, I went and I did this drug and here's what happened. But I promise this has a very beneficial ending. Nobody wants to hear you talk about your dream. Like, last night I dreamt, like, you flew and then you landed. Okay, cool. So I'm not here just to do that. I actually have a point. But the first thing, have you ever like done like an edible? I don't know what kind of guy you are. Have you ever done a drug where you take it and then you go, I think I took too much?
I'm a pretty straight-laced guy, but I think we've all had an experience or two like that. So where it's like, I've gone too far this time.
Yeah. Like it starts and you're like, oh. I experienced the most terrifying. I don't know how long I was in there. Maybe it was a year. No, I think the first part was short. It was so truly terrifying. It was that feeling of I did too much times a trillion. And
were you with people at this point, or is this by yourself?
No, we're all in the same room.
Okay.
So there's 10 of us.
Got it.
And they played like this beautiful music, and they have the sound baths, and they play like this amazing playlist. And it luckily, I had just seen 2 movies that week that I was able to put it in perspective. Where, like, remember in Fight Club when he's burning his hand and Brad Pitt is like forcing him to focus and to focus through the pain. And then there's like that scene in the new Dune where Chalamet puts his hand in the pain box.
Yep.
And he's got to so that's what I was in mentally. And I had to get to this place where I could truly just defeat this fear. And it was very intense. But once I finally got to that Chalamet moment, to that Tyler Durden moment where you're his penguins or whatever, it was gone. It was almost like I had to face the greatest fear I have ever faced in my life head on. The only way out is through, kind of thing, And it was almost like it was collecting it, like when you tell your kid, like, okay, go get all your dirty clothes so I can wash them. It felt like it was being collected just so that it could get it out of me. And I proceeded to travel through just patterns and colors and like sacred geometry. And I'm a very, artsy guy. I went to art school and majored in illustration. I've been doing art all my life. I was just, I don't know how to explain it. I was just, tears are streaming down your face with how beautiful these visions were, And you're no longer yourself. You're just a part of these. And you're traveling, and it could have been years. It could have been years I was in there, because time doesn't exist and space doesn't exist. And so I don't know how long it was taking, but it was just cleaning me out. It was just completely cleaning me out. I like I said, like you put a mask on, you put a little sleep mask on because they say that like that enhances your journey when you're like laying down and you're just in the darkness. So I'm traveling, and it's cleaning, and I'm feeling better than I've ever felt in my entire life. And this artwork, it's like inside me, and then you get like you start to all this we are one stuff with nature and one another. And you know, it's one thing to read about it, but it's another thing to actually truly feel it. It's like the difference between like me telling you how this water's 200 degrees and me throwing boiling water in your face. Mm-hmm. There's knowing it, and then there's experiencing it. And so, you're traveling through this, and finally, it eventually just starts to disappear a little bit, and then Blake, and there it was. There's that big bright white that everyone sees when they die, and so I was like, oh, I'm dead. Okay, but I like it felt. I was okay. I wasn't. It was very weird. I don't know how to explain that part, but I felt like I was plugged into like whatever source of energy created everything ever and everything that will ever be created. I truly felt like I was being plugged into it, and this battery that had only been able to charge to 60% for the first time in 5 years was oh my God, 100%. Like no, I'm a backup battery. I'm a whole warehouse of backup batteries. That's how much I'm getting recharged. And I'll try to make this quick, but like the anger and the pain and the resentment, it was just washed completely off of me. It was like I was just bathing in this beautiful, and you don't exist. You're just this endless beam of light, and you're in this endless beam of light, and every single piece of resentment, every single piece of anger, everything was just washed completely off of me. It's just sobbing, just tears of joy. I'm just a mess. Like I'm just leaking from my face, like everything. It was single-handedly the greatest experience of my life, and I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky that they don't let you have a phone. Like they make you put your phone away, brother.
It makes sense,
brother. I would have been on Instagram Live trying to get an ETID reunion started that night. I was in complete bliss. All is forgiven. This weight I had been carrying around, like you really start to understand how people compare anger to a weight that you're carrying around. You really are. Because once you put it down, like the idea of picking it back up is insane. Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Pick the anger back up after I just oh my God, not even a chance. There's no chance. There's no chance. I would rather pick up a rattlesnake. If there was my anger and there was a rattlesnake and I had to pick up one, I would take my chances with the rattlesnake. I would rather do anything. Oh my God. I'd rather take a rusty pipe cleaner, stick it up my and then like go play, like get in my car and drive to 24 Hour Fitness and play a game of basketball, then go back to being the angry. And I wasn't an angry person. It was just anger that was in me that I couldn't get rid of no matter how hard I tried. Like, I swear to God, that pain that's been in my ear it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. I am so, oh my God. It feels so good. If you are struggling with very, very severe stress-related pain, I just add me to the list of people that believe psychedelics heal. They're medicine. It's medicine, and I know people are going to hear me say that, and they're gonna think that like a need-to reunion is happening. It's like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is it feels good to not hate so many of you guys anymore, and it sucks that you thought I did, and I tried not to. It sucks that people think I hate Keith. Think that I hated Keith. That wasn't the case. If anybody, once you hear the real story, it not only is it not the case, but it's the opposite. It's quite literally the opposite. I know we've been going for a while, so I don't know if I want to start it right now because it's probably a good, hour. Unless you want to make this a 3-parter.
That's up to you. If you want to keep going, I got time.
Let me just get a little bit of water and
all right.
check my phone.
We will pause this real quick.
Yeah.
All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Like I said, there is more, but now is not the time. So I hate to be a tease, but I also want to do what's right by everybody. So that is what's happening for now. I want to thank Jordan for his time. He spent a lot of time with me, and I really appreciated every minute of it. And we have connected outside of the podcast as well, which is the best thing about doing podcasting is sometimes you make new pals. And that is really a magical thing, especially for grown men in their late 30s, early 40s. I also want to thank all the Patreon supporters for helping keep this thing going. I really appreciate you more than I can possibly tell you. It really means the world. And I have another bonus episode coming at you this week that you are getting. Oh yeah, because that's what it's about. And if you would like to join Patreon, $5 a month is all it takes to get the ad-free episodes and the bonus content. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Jordan. Big shout out to everybody who gives this podcast the time of day. I appreciate you very much. Couldn't do it without you, quite literally. All right, folks. Talk to you on the internet very soon. Bye-bye. One last thing before we totally sign off here. I just want to remind you that if you do any shopping at Stringjoy, that's Stringjoy guitar strings made in Nashville, that will help me out as well. As I've said for years, I'm heavily involved in that company, and I really do think they're making the best products on the market. So if you would like to try custom strings, go to tonemob.com/stringjoy and check them out today. I seriously love what the team down there is doing. I help them out with all kinds of things, and by you supporting them, you are also supporting me as well. And hey, you need some strings, so why not get some custom strings just for your guitar and playing style? Again, the link for that is tonemob.com/stringjoy, and that will take you right to their website, and you can do all your shopping through there, and that will help everyone involved out. So thank you very much. Talk to you next time. We are brought to you by the wonderful folks at Gun Street Wiring Shop. Yes, Gun Street Wiring Shop. I've talked about them before. I used to say based out of Bend, Oregon, but guess what? Sean moved to my neck of the woods. Sean's in Portland. Sean is awesome and has helped me with a bunch of stuff lately. And if you have wiring needs for your guitar, he can help you too. If you want to get weird with it, he can get weird. If you just need to spruce things up a little bit, there's your guy. He takes all the guesswork out of doing your guitar wiring, and he makes it simple, and his customer service is top-notch, and I can't say enough good things about Gun Street as a company. I really respect Sean and what he's all about, and the product is top-notch. I've got 3 different guitars that now have Gun Street harnesses in them, and I could not be happier. So go to gunstreetwiringshop.com and check them out.
I'm Bruce Martin, host of Pit Pass Indy. Each week, I go behind the scenes of the NTT IndyCar Series and introduce our listeners to the biggest stars of IndyCar, which features the Indianapolis 500 as its cornerstone event. The men and women that compete in IndyCar may be the bravest athletes in all of sport, as danger lurks around every corner. They are able to look danger in the eye without flinching. That is why the NTT IndyCar Series features the best racing on the planet. Join me every week as we talk to the stars of IndyCar, including the legends of the Indianapolis 500 on Pit Pass Indy from Evergreen Podcast.